So what do you do when you're cooped up in your house with 2 feet of falling snow, doing a northeastern? You make a knife video. So the first one I have here is cold steel, of course. Cold steel AD10. Now, I know there's been a million videos done on the AD10, but I haven't done a video on an AD10 on my channel yet, so that's what I'm doing. So basically, this is considered a carry knife. It's a cold steel knife from Andrew Demko. He joined forces with Cold Steel to produce custom knives, but they also made this line. It's a little bit more of an affordable production line version of his custom Andrew Demko knives, and this is basically took the industry by storm. I mean, the AD10 is a fantastic knife. Everyone who loves knives basically is looking at this knife or has this knife already. It's considered like a high performance EDC model. It's outfitted with a black G10 lock back. I think it's a triad locking system. I'm pretty sure that's what it has. And I mean, locking system is a beast. But basically, if we open it up, I want to show you the handle. It's got a great snap. Very great locking system. Falls into place fairly easily. I mean, it's very, very, very responsive. Okay, snap back, but it just really locks into place. I mean, this thing does not move. I actually want to try to show you some links of some other videos where people are just kind of banging the crap out of this thing.
So there we go. Definitely taking a beating here. Now I got this thing gripped back here, so it's getting some serious momentum on this thing. Lots of good leverage here. All right.
And this thing can take such abuse, and the locking system never fails. I got some smuts on it because I kind of use this thing every day. But the handle, it's an Ego. It's a really good Ego handle, ergonomic handle. The finish on the G10 is kind of, let's see if I get in the right light. It's smooth, but it's also very grippy. I mean, at the same time. It doesn't bite into your hands as far as ridges, but it really, I mean, you hold on to it, but also just the handle, the way you can get your hands around it, it's fantastic. Okay, thumb right here, and basically it's ready for work. I mean, this thing is really fantastic. It's got some nice weight to it. I'm going to weigh it too as well. The blade itself is an S35 VN steel blade. It's a stainless steel blade. It's basically supposed to be excellent with corrosion resistance performance. It takes a nice cutting edge. It's got an overall length of 8.5 inches. The blade is about 3.625 inches, so shy under 4 inches. The blade width is about 1.25. Blade thickness is about 0.15 inches, and it's a drop point blade. Blade grind is flat. You can see it basically has a really wonderful blade grind. I want to try to see if you get into the light. It has like a two-tone going on there, but it has a really nice high grade grind. blade grind, rather. It's got the fillers here. Everything is filled up. It's got stainless steel liners on the inside. This thing is not going to break on you. I mean, this thing is solid. I mean, you could feel it as soon as you take it out of the box and you put it into your hand for the first time, even before you actually take it out and just hold it. I mean, it is just basically solid in the hands, okay, before you even open it. One thing that a lot of YouTubers are complaining about with this particular knife is the belt clip. A lot of people were complaining the fact that the belt clip was too tight, it's ruining my jeans, getting in and out. I honestly, listen, I carry this thing every day. I put this thing in my pocket for the first time. Yeah, it was a little tight to get in. I went, while it's in your jeans, okay, you get like something to wedge in between it, maybe like a letter opener or something like that. You kind of just pull it up a little bit, give it a little resistance, pull it up, and that's it. It was done. But honestly, from wearing it every day, going in and out of jeans and all that, and wherever you're putting a belt on your belt, it kind of just molds itself up and forms into what it needs to be. And no problem at all. I take this thing in and out of pockets with no problem. I find absolutely no problem with this belt clip whatsoever. I don't know why anybody would complain about it coming too tight. I mean, would you rather be loose, or would you rather be tight and then work itself into being, the right flexibility so it could get in and out of your pockets, but also you never have to worry about this thing ever falling out of your pocket. It's a heavy knife. You don't want it to fall on the floor. You don't want it, it's a carry knife. That's what it's for. So it's a smooth finish, and it goes in and out of your pocket very easily. The actual, and like I said about the G10, it's rigidy, but it's smooth at the same time, so it does go in and out of your jeans, goes in and out of your pocket, goes on your belt with no problem, belt clip, no issue whatsoever. I just want to kind of just disclose that right off the bat, because I don't think that's generally a problem with this knife at all. This belt clip is reversible if you're lefty or righty. I'm righty, so it was perfect the way it came. Like I said, it's an everyday carry knife, which I totally agree with that. It's definitely an everyday carry knife. It's the right size where it can definitely handle all your tasks throughout the day, but it's not too big where it's protruding out of your pocket or it's going to be uncomfortable to wear it. I mean, I kind of put this into my pocket and also put my phone right next to it in my pocket, and there's absolutely no problem whatsoever. But it is a tough bastard of a knife. I mean, it really is tough. I mean, you can see the light catching it there without the fingerprints I'm putting on there already. It's got a really nice satin finish to it, but when it catches the light, I mean, it is really, really a pretty knife. Making a little light show here. Woo, woo, woo. Take that out. Nice. It's a nice knife. It's a beautiful knife. I love this thing. I carry it every day. All right. So you have this little point over here where you can, latch that you could tie a rope around it, whatever you want to do with it, or people tie those little string things around it for, to give it a little character or color or whatever the case is. But this particular end of the knife here, it has, if you feel around to it, kind of bites a little bit into your fingers. I wish it kind of just grinded it down a little bit so it was a little smoother, but I don't think it's too much of a problem. If I had to complain about anything, I would say that. And here, okay, it's just there's a couple of little edges, but it's nothing that really bothers me. I mean, it really does feel good in your hand. If there's anything to complain about at all, I would say right here, they could have grinded it down from the, let me see if I get a little closer angle. Like if you spread your finger from here to here, from front to back, you can feel a little bit of a sharp edge, but not a sharp edge where it's going to bother you. I'm not cutting my fingers up or anything like that, but that's the only thing I would honestly complain about it. But other than that, it absolutely feels perfect in the hand. There's no issue with that whatsoever. It's a wonderful knife. So, and as far as this end here, I don't even know why they brought it to a point and didn't smooth it out, but honestly, I find a lot of use in this because I don't know if they actually did this on purpose to act as like kind of a defense mechanism where if you don't want to use a knife, you can kind of just use this, and this is pretty solid. I mean, you catch somebody on the side of the temple to defend yourself or whatever you're doing with it. I mean, it'll definitely hurt. Do some damage. You'll definitely let them know to keep away or whatever the case is. But it's definitely a nice solid piece. But you know what I use it for? I use it to crush ice. I mean, if I have ice bags, I'll basically take the ice bag and I just crush the ice bag, and it's like using a little hammer, okay, if you need to bang something in. And you never have to worry about this thing breaking on you, because the way this thing is constructed, it's absolutely solid. Absolutely solid. I mean, I challenge people to kind of break this knife, you know, doing things obviously within reason, but I challenge people to actually try to break this knife doing everyday tasks. It's not going to break on you. It's a solid, very high quality cold steel knife. Fantastic. Very good foldable. So I just want to weigh it for you. You know, I keep on procrastinating with that, keep on drifting away from what I'm trying to do. So again, I picked up this little scale from Amazon. I weigh my katanas and all that, but this is actually perfect to weigh this because you have this little hole here. You can stick this little hook right in there, put this on. All right, so this comes in at 6.8 ounces. So there you go. Perfect. It's actually what the website says it weighs. It actually weighs, so 6.8 ounces. So it's a, you know, it's got some weight to it. It's definitely got some weight to it. But I like the fact it's got some weight to it because it's a quality knife. You know, it's basically a knife that it's going to handle very rugged abuse, and it's going to keep on going for you, and you never have to worry about this. You carry it every day. You do everyday tasks. You could take it to work. Do whatever you need to do with it. It's fantastic knife. Ad10, one of a kind. I won't call it one of a kind, but it's a must-have cold steel knife if you're into cold steel. And I don't know who would not be into cold steel if you like knives. They really do amazing work. So the next knife I have here is the Cold Steel Recon 1. It's a Tanto edition of the Recon 1. Okay, this is a little bit of a lighter knife, and this came in actually at 4.1 ounces. It's almost half the weight of the Ad10. It is definitely lighter, but this knife is also no joke. Triad locking system. It doesn't have the snap that the Ad10 has, but it's good enough. And I think because it's new, it'll probably, you know, work itself in a little bit more eventually. This has a wonderful blade design. I mean, me being into the katanas and all that, I really love the look of this, the Tanto style knife. This basically is it's made with S35 VN steel, the same as the Ad10, but it's got the black coated finish, which makes it very sleek and very smooth. It has a really nice edge sharpness, and the retention is great. Great toughness in the blade. It's actually called a black DLC finish. Again, it utilizes the Cold Steel Triad locking system. Very strong, solid. I mean, you can't get this thing to snap close. I mean, if you take this thing apart, see some other videos in the locking system and how it works, and it kind of just it's kind of like a hammer. Basically, two solid pieces of steel that it's just not moving. Okay, it just kind of grips into place. I mean, you really got to put excessive force to break this thing on a machine, because no matter what you do, you're not going to break it doing normal tasks with normal human strength. I'm not talking about superhuman strength. It is a G10 handle. It's lightweight. It's also and it really does have unbelievable strength, as they say. It also fits your hand very well, just like the Ad10. Fits your fingers well. Has your thumb stud right over here. It's perfect. And this actually wraps around a little bit more than the Ad10 does. I mean, this, yeah, I mean, you get the wrap, but this basically gives you a little bit more of a wrap around to really rest your pinky on. But this is also a very strong knife. It's not as heavy as the Ad10, but it's definitely a very capable knife. But what I notice about these two knives, the Recon 1 is more of a slicer. It's got a really pronounced edge, and this slice is better. This is more of like a chopper. I mean, this is like you could just basically take this and chop things up with it, and it will just, with the weight of the blade, because it's got more thickness on the spine of the blade, which I think you can see it on the video there. And this is basically, you can use this to chop things up and it'll be a lot more of a vigorous use type of knife. This can be more of a fine slicer type of thing, and I found that the edge out of the box, this slices a lot better than the AD10. It came very sharp, but this slices a lot better, which I'll show you some paper tests at the end of this video, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. 9.3 inches in total length. The blade is longer than the AD10. It's about it's exactly 4 inches from what they say. Again, it's not, the blade thickness is not as much as the AD10. It's got the blade grind is compound, like I said. It's a black finish. Right-handed, left-handed. You could switch it. You could switch the clip and everything around. Its best use is a tactical knife, which, you know, it's got the blade geometry and the look and feel of a tactical knife. The blade handle, the G10 blade handle is very nice. It's got a nice tactile feel to it, but nothing that's going to really hurt your hands or give you marks or anything like that from using it all day. You know, I think Cold Steel does a great job in making up their handles in terms of giving you the right grip without regretting using it all day and, you know, finding marks in your hands and scuff marks and stuff like that on the. It holds itself well with a lot of use, and I think I really like what they did, at least with these two knives. I know they make a lot, have some great lineups of knives, but I can only speak for these two, and I think they did a great job with them. I'm very happy with both of them. One other really interesting knife that I want to show you, I showed it on one of my other videos. Eric Hussein and Carl turned me on to this this knife from BPS Knives. This is called the BPS Adventurer. This is a really fantastic company, a really fantastic knife. I mean, right off the bat, you have a really beautiful leather holster that it comes in. It's got nice stitching. It's got the nice borders around that to protect you from the blade while it's in your pocket and all that. You know, very solid. It's got the little sleeve for a little fire starter thing if you happen to find yourself in the woods and need to make a fire. There you go. But that's kind of cool that it has that. It's got the hanging system and the belt system on it at all times. And for the knife, this knife is a spear point blade shape. You can see the grind. It's a 1066 carbon steel. The grind is a true Scandi grind. I mean, it's got a really beautiful grind. And again, this is giving you a little bit of a light show as well here. It's got a beautiful, beautiful finish on this blade. I mean, I don't know if I want to try to get the right lighting so you can see the grind. I mean, yeah, you can see it once the light moves a little bit. You can see how nice the grind is on the blade. It's a full tang all the way around. If you wanted to change the handle, you can. You can unscrew it. You could put it onto another handle, make your own handle. But I think the handle, it's an ergonomic walnut handle. I think the handle that it comes with is fantastic. I mean, if you wanted something, since the knife, you know, is about 5.5 inch blade, if you wanted to put on a bigger handle or something a little bit more with some more grip on it or something like that for excessive use, I'm sure you can if you know how to do that kind of stuff, you can definitely get that done. But the handle that it comes in, it is very well balanced in the hand. Okay, you can definitely cut with it. It's fantastic. But what I noticed about this blade and what really sold me on it from Eric, it's shaving sharp out of the box. I mean, this thing is freaking sharp. I mean, it's actually probably one of the sharpest knives that I've held thus far. But out of the box, it is incredibly sharp. Try to do this on camera and look at this at the same time. I mean, this is about 4 pages here. Okay, this is not one page. I mean, look at that. Just shaves. Okay. Look at that. You know, making a big mess. This has an incredible sharp shaving edge. I mean, this thing is honestly really made to cut. It's got a beautiful blade architecture, spear point architecture. It is really a quality knife. Picked this up on Amazon. I think they're restocking them in February at some point because they ran out. I know a lot of people complaining that they tried to get this knife and it ran out, but I think they're restocking it in February scabs. At Choir Boy Cutlery basically was looking for it and he couldn't find it, but I think they're restocking it. But or you could get to go to the BPS website and you could order from them. It just takes a little bit longer, so I would say wait for it to come in on Amazon if you're interested in picking this up. But it really is a great knife to have. Great cutter, great in the pinch or just basically slicing something up if you need to. It's really fantastic. Love this knife. So now this is the Recon 1. Again, this is multiple page. I think this is about 4 pages here. Okay, it's not as smooth as it could, but it's definitely a nice, let me go to 1 page. It's definitely a good slicey dicey cutter. Okay, you feel like you have to kind of just rough through it a little bit because again, it's just a different blade grind, but it's definitely sharp. I mean, without a doubt, it's not that it's not sharp. It's just that it doesn't, you have to push through it a little bit because that's just the way the blade is made. It's a rougher type of blade, but it'll definitely cut. I mean, with raw force, it'll definitely cut. It just doesn't slice as easily as the other cold steel knife and some with a finer edge because I don't think that's the way it's made. But it's definitely a great cutter, great aggressive cutter, which I'm going to show you some links. You saw a link of basically what abuse people can put this thing through, and it just keeps on going, and it does a great job. So really fantastic knives. Just want to kind of show you these 3 offerings here. Great slicer. Great tactical knife, great carry knife as far as I'm concerned. Great knife to own, wonderful blade, very sharp slicer. I think everyone should have one of these. Just as far as just how sharp it is out of the box. And just wanted to kind of put this out there for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. And as I increase my collection, I'll definitely put it out there for you. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, please put it out there. Anything I can help you with. If anything I said that was wrong, please correct me. I have no problem with your comments or reading them or whatever you need to say. I'll definitely address each one of them as much as best as I can. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I mean, mostly I review katanas and swordcraft, but once in a while I'll put some knives in there as well because I'm very crazy about knives as well. But you'll see mostly swords and swordcraft. That's all I have for you guys. So peace out, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Later.